Hello, you're welcome. A popular African adage states that good soup na money make am. In other words, good soup is a function of how much money you're able to invest in that soup. The same can be said about good homes because the goodness of a home depends on the qualities of the individuals, the husband and the wife, who have come together to make that home. Today we'll be looking at the qualities, top qualities to watch out for in your future wife. With time, we're going to share that of future husband. But today, let's just narrow down on the top qualities to watch out for in a future wife, especially if you are watching out for a good wife. In case you've not seen my video on a perfect wife and where to find one, please check the description of this video and you will see that. I remain your facilitator, Dr. Marco Achukwujide. I'm going to show you just 6 of them. There are many qualities to watch out, but 6 is of interest for me in this discussion here. And one of them is the issue of understanding. Look, friend, it's a pleasant experience to marry a woman who understands you. If you marry someone who doesn't understand you, I bet you are in for a big challenge, because even your sincere effort can be misinterpreted. Even your struggle, even your goodwill can be misinterpreted, and it will be used against you. And so it's important at the point of searching for a good wife to watch out for somebody who understands who you are. And that is why I encourage young men who are looking out for good wives to make every effort to come as plain as possible. Do not pretend. Do not try to fake yourself because you want her. As much as possible, come out. And you get to know people when you engage them in discussion. And that is why when you are in a relationship with someone for marriage, it's important you engage in communication as much as possible. Nobody knows our hearts. But those of you who are very familiar with the Holy Bible, the scripture says somewhere that out of the fullness of the heart speaketh the mouth. So it's when you engage people in conversation, you get to know them better. And so you don't tell me that you are a quiet type, you don't like talking, and yet you are in a relationship with somebody for marriage. You don't want to open up. I'll be afraid of you. So engage in discussion, engage in communication, share your thoughts. And let me tell you one secret you need to note if you want to understand the person who is coming for your hand in marriage, or the person you want to marry as a young man. When you ask a question, when you say a thing, do not just listen to what the person is saying in answer or in response to your question. Try also to listen to what the person is not saying to you. When I ask you, for instance, how old are you? I'm not just looking at the figure. The figure may not be as important as your reaction and what you are not saying in trying to answer that question. For instance, when I ask you, how many are you in your family? And you say 5, and I say, what is your position in the family? Are you the first or the last? Your position may not be as important as the way you react to that question. Someone can say, well, I'm the last in my family, and as the last, I do not have so many engagements, so many activities. Everybody is always helping me, so that begins to tell me about you. So when you engage people in discussion because you want to understand them, do not just listen to what they are saying. Listen to what they are not saying when they are responding to your question. Is that okay? So that at the end of the day, if you think this person understands you and you can run together, that becomes easier. It becomes easier for two to agree when they understand themselves. Yeah, they may not agree on everything. They may not share the same view on everything, but that understanding that we have different thoughts here, and we have agreed that we're going to run with our thoughts, our differences, and so we appreciate each other. It could be an issue of temperament, and maybe I'm a very calm person, and the other person is very temperamental. But I know that this person being temperamental is helping to fill up a gap in me. That understanding can make us run together. So understanding doesn't mean you must be the same in everything. It must not be, you must not share the same, how do I put it, the same features. Okay, but that understanding is there, that this person is this person is this. All right, that is key. Number two is caring. Do not marry any woman who you cannot talk with about anything and everything. Oh, you think I'm not serious? Including your finance, young man. If you can't open up, please. Yeah, this may be quite difficult, but I mean, if you want to really, really get that care you want, be ready to open up to the person you are getting married to. Because people show care. And so, in part of showing care, she could ask any question. And if you are not willing to answer the question, how much care do you want her to show? She will be left with questions unanswered in her heart. And so it affects her abilities to show care. So a caring wife is someone you can talk to about anything, anything, and it flows. And then if the understanding is there, it is easier to communicate. And then she will show care. She knows where the discussion stopped. And so next time she's able to pick it up from there and know how you are faring. And of course, caring is quite reciprocal. If you show care, you can also receive care. Give, it shall be given to you, says the Holy Scripture somewhere. All right, so learn to show care. And that is important. You don't get to know this before you get married. You watch out for it before you marry. Yeah. Young lady, you miss it a lot in most cases. You're already in a relationship with somebody. Yeah, before you agree to marry the person, you are quite reserved. It's important. Okay, it's important. You don't come all out when somebody just proposed to you. You keep part of the thing. Okay, you keep yourself. So by the time the person has, you got to a point where you have said, yes, we're going to run together, you begin to show concern. He shouldn't be the only one calling you all the time to say, how are you? Feeling, put airtime in your phone, call, send message, ask about his feeling. Don't just be the one receiving. If you are the only one receiving, one day he will get tired of giving. And that's the law of nature. Give and it shall be given to you. So young man, watch out how much she cares. You know, I had this friend. He went into a very crazy relationship. I say it's crazy because I had to talk to him at a point. I said, young man, what is wrong with you? He's doing everything to make this young lady happy, and she didn't care so much. She was ready to make life miserable for him. Yeah, one day he had to invite him for a birthday celebration, and so he went for it. And then at the end of the birthday celebration, he almost choked him trying to collect every penny she spent to celebrate that birthday. But you are the one that organized it. You didn't discuss with him. For me, it's not care. Yeah, people would have seen that, she's a very caring lady. She hosted birthday. But behind the scene, what transpired was crazy. He followed this young man out of to the motor park, where he was to board a vehicle back to his base, and almost disgraced him there. So out of shame, he had to pay that bill. But then, of course, that was the end of that relationship. You look for somebody who is very supportive. A supportive wife is someone who would motivate the husband, who will want to encourage you to go for more, who will want to make you believe in yourself, believe that you can achieve even that thing you have not thought about. She helps to inspire you. She helps to drive your vision. All right, that's a supportive husband, a wife. And so you get to know when you engage people in discussion, you are in a relationship, you are talking. You get to know how much this person believes in you and is ready to support you in your purpose for life. Yeah, I'm laughing because imagine you're a man, you don't have a purpose for life. It becomes difficult. All right, so you should know what you want and go for it. I love motivating young people. I have a lot of young people I mentor everywhere. And when I was getting married, it was for me a key thing to consider. Who is this wife I will marry? Who will support this my interest in breeding, in grooming the next generation? And so one day we were gisting before we got married. My wife told me something, and that was the boom. That was just the thing. She said, "Look, Marco, I know you are a very friendly person, and you have I see that you have this interest in young people, and I'm sure you'll be interested in making sure that marriage doesn't scare away those young people you mentor. Let me tell you something, I'm not going to scare them away. I'll rather bring more persons for you to mentor. Just be sure that relationship is expensive. The more you are mentoring them, the more you spend so much on them." I say, "My baby, that is just, you've just made the point. Thank you for this point. You don't know how much it means to me." And I bet you 15 years down the line, she has maintained that position. Just recently, we hosted graduate mentorship program, hosted about 100 students. And we didn't get funds so much, and so and the students couldn't register because they ran out of fund doing their projects. She had to call me at a point in the night and said, "Look, this program must not collapse. Get part of our service and sponsor this program. Make sure it is a success." And that was the drive. And the program turned out a huge success. So watch out for the person at the point of discussing for marriage. See how much this person is ready to support your purpose, your dream. And so if you don't have any purpose as a man and you are getting married, you are in for a big trouble. So look for somebody. Make sure you define your purpose in life and look for somebody who is ready to support that. All right? So a wife that is appreciative is a wife that will make your home enjoyable. So this is a wife who will appreciate you for who you are, respect you as a person, and then she's willing to show that concern and love for your family. All right, this is the kind of person you watch out for. So in engaging somebody for discussion for marriage, you watch out for that, how much this person appreciates you, your little effort. All right, you're able to get a gift of let me say $10 this month. I mean, last 2 months you got $10. Last 2 months $10. Last month you got $20, and then this month you're able to get only $5 gifts. I'm just giving you an instance. And then this person understands why and appreciates that. All right, this is somebody you can run with. Okay, and then the other point I want to make is that many men, including myself, we don't want to marry a wife who will be acting like an official, confidential secretary in the home. People are looking for sense of humor, somebody you can play with, somebody you can gist with, somebody you can joke with. All right, after meeting all the stress in workplace, after meeting all the stress in the world is actually a very difficult place to live. Part of why God has permitted marriage is to make sure that these two persons come together as a couple to help make life less difficult for each other. And so if you are talking with someone and you are losing that, you see that this person is not giving you that sense of humor, it may not be the right person to go for. All right, look for somebody that can make you get relaxed, you can gist with. Otherwise, you get into a marriage and yet you are losing friendship everywhere. And that was part of what I told my wife when we get married. I said, "Look, I have a lot of friends, and the truth is that as soon as I declare that you are the person I'm going to settle with, many of them will respect that relationship and they will withdraw. And I do hope you'll be able to fill the gap." And I bet you she has done that so perfectly. So look for somebody that gives you that sense of humor. All right? All right? So seek for a wife in whom you find friendship, and that is very, very important. The last one I will conclude with is the issue of real love. I took time to discuss this in the seminar on perfect wife and how to find one. Real love is key in making a family stand the test of time. And real love can only be found by a real man. and from a real woman. Oh, and that is why a lot of people clash. This guy became fake, and then the lady also became fake, and then they got into this relationship, and then he said, but you said you are this, but you said you are this, and then the fight will start, and the love is no more. So if you are looking for someone that will help you make a good and enjoyable home, look for someone who loves you for who you are as a person, the actual you. As much as possible, while you are engaged, while you are talking, discussing for, trying to discuss on possibly settling down for marriage, try to be yourself as much as possible. Don't fake it, don't pretend. Let her know your weaknesses, know your strengths, try to find hers, and then if two of you agree and you love each other for those weaknesses and strengths, the real love is there. But if you come as a fake man, and then she's showing real love, only to discover that at the end of the day you are not who you are or who you claim to be, that love can be affected seriously negatively. As I want to encourage you, if you are in a relationship with anybody, see how much the person appreciates the real you. And that is why I encourage you to come out as much as possible to show your true color. Okay? So marry someone who loves you as a person, the actual you. And if you do, I bet you will discover that marriage indeed is good and is enjoyable. I say it from my heart. If you do, you discover that marriage is good and enjoyable. Forget all the stories people tell you. Yours will be a good one if you marry the right person. And so it actually calls for patience to get it right. All right? Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Be patient and get it right. And if you get it right, you will enjoy your marriage. I'm sure you remember this picture. That is myself and my darling wife. Thank you for listening, and I wish you the very, very best in life, in career, in every aspect of your life, especially your home, which is key in making your life meaningful. Thank you and stay blessed. Cheers.